How's it going, everyone? How's it going? I think I'm live here. Am I live? Let me make sure my a little bit late over here. The sun's coming down. I wanted to hop on here and finally make a video addressing the Bitcoin Cash drama, right? The Roger Ver, the Mark Lamb, kind of public dispute and all that, and my reaction. So I'm a little bit later on this, but I'm later on purpose, right? Because I wanted to get some better context and really think about it before speaking to make a understand. I don't know, I think it's best just not to be reactionary about things, right? Get information and go from there. So if you don't know, right, allegedly Roger Ver owes anywhere from 47 to, I heard, like $84 million in $1 million in money to CoinFLEX for getting on a margin call on an unliquidated account. And obviously this is really bad for Mark Lamb and CoinFLEX, and because right now all depositors have their funds locked up, which is really bad. But also I think it shows Mark Lamb did not market the company appropriately. The company, meaning CoinFLEX, said all their stablecoin was collateralized, but yet they had leverage trading in uncollateralized accounts, right? So I think that was a huge problem for Mark Lamb, and in terms of his future running crypto exchange. I thought his work he was doing was good, and I can say that I have viewed him on this channel. I have a lot of respect for him, and I think he's a very important person in history for a lot of things he's done in crypto, because certainly crypto would not be where it is without Roger. So what's up, Mark? What's up, Jason? So yeah, how do I feel about it? So again, I don't know all the details. I did listen to the podcast where Roger made a statement just saying he couldn't really speak due to legal issues, and Mark's been pretty candid in saying that, yeah, Roger owes us this money, and is trying to raise funds through a pro tip: turn off Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi is off. I don't know why that happens when I walk through my neighborhood and I do these lives, but so yeah, that's what's going on. When it first happened, though, I will admit, like, how I personally felt, because I felt like Bitcoin Cash, went through a nice time of very little drama. Bitcoin Cash, if you've been here for a while, since the fork of Bitcoin, we haven't had a lot of long pauses without too much drama. We had one after the eCash fork. I felt like we had a lot of positive momentum, community building. Who runs the customer, depending on yeah, Jason, I want to get more on that, but yeah, so I was just really excited for the momentum and the community that was building around Bitcoin Cash with no drama, right? And I was excited about a lot of different things with it, and I still am. Still a lot of positive things going on for Bitcoin Cash, but it was, I think if anyone says you weren't discouraged to see like something like that happen, I think you're not being honest. But regardless, I think it's very, it'll work itself out. Bitcoin Cash as a protocol still works as cash, right? That's our goal here. Unfortunately, SmartBCH, which a lot of people have a lot of high hopes for, is in a really bad position, and I feel bad. I have some money over there locked up, on the side chain, and I feel bad for other people that are involved with their CoinFLEX accounts and their money in SmartBCH that they're having issues with. And I do see innovation happening to help these people operate their accounts, right? But yeah, I'm really hopeful that all of them get returned the funds. I hope the bridge gets repaired and all these things. So, but yeah, you have to ask yourself when something like this happens, what does this mean, right? For, Bitcoin Cash is such an important, crypto, in my opinion, given its history with Bitcoin, and it's a cash coin. It's a cash coin. So I'm really amazed by how much little passion there is, or I shouldn't say passion, there's a lot of passion, but how little market cap exists in cash coins. all the top 10 coins right now are essentially not cash coins. You can't say Bitcoin BTC is a cash coin, right? It's not easy to use as cash. So actually, you don't really see your first cash coin, like something that's trying to really be good cash, is decent cash, until you get to, I think in the top 20, I think Litecoin is currently the largest cash coin. Bitcoin Cash for the longest time has been the largest cash coin, and now I think it's like number 3. So you have Litecoin, you have Monero, and then you have Bitcoin Cash. So yeah, so you have to look at, if that's your passion, if your passion is, getting into something that can really compete with the dollar, right? Because my passion in cryptocurrency is not really, the technology per se. It's, recognizing the damage the dollar has done and can do, right? If it has printing power and politicians, and essentially look at the history of the foundation of the Federal Reserve Bank, since 1913, we had a central reserve. We pretty much had been, and I found Bitcoin and understood its powers and properties. I was attracted to something that could really compete with the dollar and not allow politicians to invisibly tax citizens through inflation, and be more fair and a better world to live in. So so when these things get shook up, I see Sedona here. He's a big eCash fan, right? He's out always very excited about eCash. I can't get excited about eCash because it just doesn't share in those properties that that I look for in a cryptocurrency. I definitely think if you look at something like Monero, like that's one easy to have passion toward. eCash, I think, certainly has a large issue around Amari, and he's brought up good critiques of Bitcoin Cash, saying that we're centralized around whales, right? Which could be true, but also we're not forcibly sending money to one wallet, right? Roger Ver or some other Bitcoin Cash whales could easily dump their BCH tomorrow, and so have you. So yeah, I think when you get back to all this, Dash is probably more aligned with Dash. Let me go to some of the comments. Jason, you're commenting a lot. I want to make sure I address your comments here. So you said, I am more disappointed with people's response. Yeah, so I don't know if I've been disappointing in my lack of response. I just I don't want to shoot first and then ask questions, right? I wanted to look and see, and I think the biggest thing that you can do is still just protect peer-to-peer cash. Like, that's the most important thing here, right? SmartBCH is in turmoil right now, and I do think I think Vitalik creating Ethereum years ago was really because BTC was not open-minded. Towards further innovating its protocol to allow DeFi. So that existed. So I thought it was really cool to see SmartBCH arrive and try to be what like Vitalik wanted Bitcoin Evolve to be, but it didn't happen. So having like a Bitcoin Cash, with Ethereum capabilities was amazing, and could have been the roadmap BTC would have followed if it could have kept its act together, I think. Here's some more questions in the chat. Yeah, Mark, I need to make a follow-up video on the topic. Yeah, Mark, you made a very good summary. You're always good about not being overly biased. Like I said, you have relationships, I believe, with both Roger and Mark. So I think you're always good and objective. Roger and Mark need to move on. BCH is bigger than both. New leaders will fill the void. So, sure, I don't think they should just move on to new projects, right? But I do think it does beg the point, if we're peer-to-peer cash for everyone, it doesn't really matter, even though, a big figure like Roger Ver or, an exchange, a multi-million-dollar exchange, they're not the end of the world, and they shouldn't be centralized around those figures. So I think that's a big takeaway. But yeah, I still think Bitcoin Cash is a big competitor for peer-to-peer cash. And if you look at and that's why I'm in crypto, is because I want peer-to-peer cash. So if you look at, I think Doge is one I didn't mention. Doge is probably the largest, cash coin currently in terms of market cap. So all of those coins have my interest. Yeah, Bitcoin Cash is a very strong player in that. We still have had such a robust year in merchant adoption and everything going on in the Caribbean. And yeah, we are, with was previously to the bull cycle. So I think that's positive things, and hopefully everyone gets resolved here. Golden says more adoption videos. Yeah, I'm gonna get back, and I'm traveling next week, and I'll be doing more. I need to get back by somewhere around the 50 businesses, just to make sure the training's good. I had someone reach out to me at a gas station they went to today, and I think it was a newer clerk who wasn't educated on the POS system. So you have to also take care of the people that you onboard. So I need to do some of that. The last couple weeks, I've had to focus more on my business, and I think after this vacation, I'll come back refreshed from all of the bear market wounds, me getting hit with a $30,000 loss in Voyager, this drama, and BCH. Just take a little vacation and come back refreshed, ready to get back to work. Got more people in the chat here. Yeah, I need to do a follow. Here we go. Jason says, Doge is more expensive to send than BCH. Yes, that is true. So you have to watch that protocol. It seemed like Elon having influence, it was talking like a big blocker and valued low fees. So that's why I think I think they have legs. If they, and I think if Elon was around in 2017, BCH probably would have kept the BTC ticker, had majority. Mark says, I think teaching the damaging and have not occurred at all. I hope you're wrong, Mark, but I can't tell you. So White T says, who the F buys eCash? So Honkadonna in the chat here. He loves eCash. I think I got like $30 eCash from the split, but I sold it the same day. So if you do look at it, eCash is picking up a little bit of ground on BCH, but I don't think all that matters, right? Like, I think if you look at like Luna, gained a lot of ground, right, on a lot of coins, and it's essentially gone to zero, right? So short term means very little about price movement, right? And I understand eCash is doing something interesting with Avalanche, which I don't completely. I should probably look at more. Sorry, it's getting dark out here. I'm gonna start heading back in the house. But yeah, Mark, yeah, your comment there is gonna spur a lot of interest from a lot of people. Valued. It's a pretty interesting comment. Let's go here, top chat. I think Mark has explained for more BCH because valued went down. I lost all my crypto. That wasn't BCH. So in 100%, let's go. I'd rather buy Doge than eCash. Yeah, I think, like I said, you'll have to see what roadmap Doge follows. And again, if you're, I think DeFi is cool too, and these other protocols are interesting. But I think decentralized peer-to-peer cash is why is what has my attention. Something that I would really like to see in my life. I like to see a real strong competitor to the dollar. Again, that's my goal here, is because I recognize the damage the dollar has done. And I watched a really good old podcast, and I wish to hear more from him. But Peter Risen. Peter Risen was the chief scientist. I think he still might be the chief scientist of Bitcoin Unlimited. He was a big Bitcoin Cash developer, and he did a podcast with Peter McCormick, a really good podcast. Everyone should go watch that. Peter Risen, Peter McCormick, and he just tears apart Lightning Lightning Network, and even Peter McCormick says, yeah, Lightning Network sucks. And they still will reserve to, well, if it's a small purchase, just use your credit card, you know. And I think that is a really poor way to think about it, because you're still allowing the dollar a reason to exist, right, for small purchases. So these people just don't have the same values. I don't understand them. Why are you really drawn towards Bitcoin peer-to-peer cash? It doesn't make any sense. If you're not compete with cash and just be a store of value, and one day you'll figure it out, right? It's a really good podcast. Yes. Turn on my light back. So yeah, I will turn on the light. Can you turn on the light, buddy? So yeah, Peter Risen. He also wrote a paper called how a fee market, or he wrote a paper about, turn on the light. He wrote a paper about explaining how miners will still be incentivized to watch the chain with rising block sizes and low fees. He wrote it. It's almost in like a white paper form. So might as well turn the light on. Thank you. It's a very important document to look at, and a very good thesis is to, like, a lot of people think you have to have a fee market to incentivize the miners, but how time the fees don't really become more important until much later, right? The block reward is still a heavy incentive to carry us on in this time until we have lots of usage, and then even a fraction of a penny when you have 50,000 transactions a second is enough to keep a healthy security to the system. Saw lots of things in the chat. OG, so OG has some pretty, I think, polarizing thoughts on this topic. I heard him vocalize about Mark Lamb and CoinFLEX not being the biggest fan of those guys. BCH getting strong will only happen from individuals building forward, not relying on heroes in the community. Absolutely, absolutely. So while you can say someone, you know, Roger's a polarizing figure in a way because, you know, he took big chances on crypto early on. This whole thing's much bigger than him. So I think that's such a good point. And yeah, we don't necessarily need leaders. We just need people that want peer-to-peer cash. I'm excited about cash tokens back on-chain solutions. So I hear there's developments, things being worked on for cash tokens to kind of be the solve of the issue of the bridge, from my understanding, and things like that. So I feel bad for everyone that's gotten, you know, hurt again by CoinFLEX having issues with not allowing their funds back to their users. Like I said, I have a similar problem with Voyager, so I get the pain and the frustration. What is the difference between BCH and SmartBCH? That's a good question. So BCH is built on the Bitcoin Cash blockchain, and SmartBCH is a second layer, an EVM of like an Ethereum clone to have DeFi built on top of Bitcoin Cash. My returns in SmartBCH are approximately negative 95%. Yeah, I don't know if you're trying to brag. I know some people down more. No, I'm just kidding. Bitcoin Jason, I bought 1 million BCH last night at $98. 1 million BCH. That's a lot of BCH. The next bull market will be good. You know, right now, how much BCH are you holding, if you don't mind us asking? I have to see exactly how many coins. If you go back and look at my videos over time, you can kind of follow. And I spend and replace pretty regularly, and I kind of always add. Besides the BCH I lost on Voyager, I don't know exactly at the moment, but also I think it's maybe not good to share exactly how much funds you have, and you know, what's a rough estimate? Over 100. If that's good enough. Over 100 BCH tokens, not 1 million. And wait, see, I wonder if that's true. I remember years ago, it was disclosed that, and it was pretty profound at the time. I think BCH was probably over 1,000 or maybe $1,500 or so, but it was disclosed that Bitmain had 1 million BCH, and that's pretty insane. So Whitey, I don't know who you are. Ryan has 200,000 USD worth of BCH. Yeah, I don't know if that's true in today's market. Bitmain, who's Bitmain? Bitmain is a large hardware producer for mining equipment. Jihan Wu is the longtime founder, and I don't think he's the CEO now, but I'm sure he's somewhere on the board over there. A large company he's been a part of. So again, my thoughts about all this, I think it's put your head up, focus on peer-to-peer cash, and even if that means not being a Bitcoin Cash maximalist, right? My goal is, I like Bitcoin Cash because it is good peer-to-peer cash, but I think looking for coins that are good peer-to-peer cash is very, very important. Give us a price prediction for BCH in late of 22. I don't think you should expect anything exciting until 2025. So while we had fun in crypto in 2020, 2021, you're gonna see how not fun crypto is for the next couple years. So you'll have to want to really, you're here for the technology now. Some people joke, but actually, it's actually a very good time to get involved because you can buy a lot of crypto in preparation for these next fun cycles that happens. Typically every 4 years we tend to get some fireworks in crypto. CoinFLEX was doing a lot of sketchy transactions on the BCH blockchain. I think the biggest disappointment in CoinFLEX is that they were false advertising their Flex USD on being fully collateralized. And this issue that they're pointing to now has to do with uncollateralized account. So I think that's troublesome. And again, I'm not trying to bash and be on someone's side. Roger could be at fault here. Again, not taking away from Bitcoin Cash in terms of personalities. It's pretty fascinating that again, I wish them both generally well. Because I have corresponded with Roger. I sent him a nice message, after it seemed like he was going through a stressful situation. Just because Roger's always just been nothing but good to me, and if someone's good to you, you be good back to them. Look at the value of people. Let's go back over here. You're just hating you don't got money like me. I sold my property 2 weeks ago. I still got a ton of buy orders on BCH. Yeah, party at White Tees. Making it rain, BCH. Yeah, that's I do think actually flipping real estate for crypto now is actually a preferable trade. I have a rental property. I don't know if I would want to sell it, but I want to maybe cash out refinance it to acquire more crypto over the next couple of years. I think it's again that's the trader and speculator in me, and that's something that I really want to focus on. Is to try to figure out in the next 2 years how can I get as much crypto as I can, and yeah. Any news on getting your money back from Voyager? It seems like I'll likely get something back. They sent out a message yesterday, but it sounds like they're going to give you a bunch of their native tokens, VGX, which will be a race to sell it all. So you'll probably lose a lot of value as that happens, and they'll give you stock in their new company by bad leaders, right? Steve Ehrlich, hugely disappointed in him. He seemed like a rock star during the bull market. Getting partnerships with Mark Cuban and had a slick app, and unfortunately, these heroes of the bull market are falling to ash in the bear market. So Mark points out that advertising fully collateralized feels like a misstep. I personally feel like I was dishonest during my onboarding talk about Flex USD to merchants. Yeah, I think that's a part of adding to the way I respond to it. Maybe I slowed down a little bit in my onboarding because I really wanted to think about with people losing their coins, stable coins, these different solutions I'm giving merchants to use. I wanted to maybe have a different pitch slightly for the bear market, or at least reevaluate the way I'm doing things given the nature of the market. I have a real estate agent that takes BCH. Yeah, we have some down here too. Actually, Mark went with me to onboard them and put them on map.bitcoin.com. We have a real estate agent as well. Are you still onboarding gas stations use BCH point of sale system? Yeah, we are up to about 10. Well, there's maybe about 5 or 6 gas stations and the other 4 convenience stores that we've gotten onboarded, and we can do a lot more. But I need to increase my training on some of them. I got a message today. There was a guy tried to pay, and the clerk was not trained properly on the POS system. So I need to go back over there.
Bitcoin Jason, you should try to onboard a car dealership. I need a Bugatti dealership to accept BCH. Yeah, you got 1,000,000 of them. I mean, if those go back to $1,000 a BCH, you can buy all kinds of Bugattis. Elon has Dogecoin. Yes, he does. We have one already. I'm working on a BMW and Tesla dealership. Tesla would be always good for the headlines. Are you hiring for onboarding gas stations? I sell merchandise to small mom and pop gas stations and have over 20 plus gas station contacts that love me. So you know, my efforts to onboard aren't really for profit. So me and Mark have actually talked about ways to come up with systems to enhance the behavior and get people, you know, on payroll to do things. We'll probably continue those conversations over the coming time. So yeah, we don't have a way to necessarily fund it. It's me and my efforts, and you know, I funded a flip starter for funds to do it with, and yeah, so those are conversations to still have to figure out how to effectively grow and scale it. I do it for free. Yeah. If you wanna help, for sure. I have a lot of volunteers, and I have a gentleman, Mark. His name's Mark too. A lot of Marks in Bitcoin Cash. He, you know, I give him gas station money and stuff like that. So he's helped me do some of the onboardings that are a little bit further away. That's closer to where he lives. So yeah, we've you know, definitely in terms of building the infrastructure, it definitely takes it's not the profits in the value of your future coins being worth more. YT says you got to have good communication skill and high knowledge of BCH. Not anybody can just do it. That is true. You have to understand what you're doing. And you know, I actually went out with Mark, the St. Kitts, to see their pitch, and he came here and trained me as well. So I had some nice training with it, and plus, you know, years of being in cryptocurrency and making Bitcoin Cash cryptocurrency content. So all that really helps. Also, thanks Mark and Ryan for all you do for BCH. I appreciate that, man. It's you know, it's certainly a pleasure. And you know, I wish it was funner times for everyone, but I guarantee better times will be ahead. It's not like the best time, or it is the best time to be buying coins. It's certainly a better time to buy coins than in the last, maybe, like Bitcoin Cash didn't even go this low during the COVID crash. Bitcoin Cash probably hasn't been this low for like 4 years. Like after the 2018 crash, I think Bitcoin Cash fell like $60. So we haven't been this low in a long time. So a better time to buy in all this time besides then, right? So you can think about it like that. Moving on, I'm surprised BCH is only $98 with only 21 million supply cap. For reference, ETH is 1,000. Yeah. ETH has a lot of users. We need more users. People don't realize this is the good times. It really is, Mark. So if you can think about, man, you know, this isn't a good time, but you understand better times are ahead, then you understand this is a good time to invest, at least. Inflation numbers tomorrow might be a good buy opportunity if numbers are hot. Yeah, I definitely think we're closer to the bottom. My gut says we may not be at the bottom, but like my gut's also been wrong. Like I thought we were gonna go higher on the top. So don't get too greedy, you know, trying to invest money into crypto and like pick the bottom or sell the top. You know, definitely I think just over time in the bear market, just buy crypto. It's not financial advice, but I bought crypto today. Like it seemed like the market was down, so I bought more. Where are you? You're sweating a lot. I am in South Florida. I just got done with a walk. So yeah, sorry for my glistening. It's I'm getting all the toxins out. Just filling your BCH bags. Always in abundance around here. I love it. Are you in stock twits? No, I'm not. Yeah, it's about always like 90 degrees in summer here in South Florida. So yeah, we've got 12 in the chat here, guys. Just recapping the coming to Florida in August. Mark, I have more hard information on that at the end of this week on all the information there. Ryan, you $200,000 worth of BCH or what? I don't think that's its USD value at the moment. Maybe at one time I did. But yeah, I think getting more BCH right now is a good thing for me personally. I already know Bitcoin Jason and Ryan is future billionaires easily. Whitey, I haven't seen you on the channel before, brother. Welcome to the channel. I appreciate you in the chat. Yeah, you always meet new people in the BCH community. The lower BCH goes, the quicker those who bought at 1,000 will profit. The lower BCH goes, the quicker those who bought at 1,000 will profit. Not sure I understand what you mean by that if it goes down, but certainly if you dollar cost average down, that's your opportunity to make that back. So, but yeah, I wish everyone well. Hopefully you're staying healthy and optimistic in this bear market. Personally, I only have a position of 120 BCH. If it goes to 1,000, that's easily 100,000 USD. Yeah, and it's gone over 1,000 in both bull markets. So you know, I can't really think of a scenario where it could get so bad where it wouldn't at least do that, right? So, but who knows? You know, crazier things have happened. I'm accumulating. Yeah, you know, maybe the next cycle the value will be in cash coins, right? Like definitely the big pumping players were DeFi, right? So maybe we get back to valuing cash, peer-to-peer cash. And again, like I said, that's my passion in crypto. It's my passion in economics and understanding all that. So hopefully that becomes a thing. You know, there's not many huge BCH hodlers. Gabriel, Bitcoin Jason, not sure. Thoughts on other cryptos like Sheeb, Ethereum Classic, Doge, yay or nay? I don't know a whole lot about Sheeb or Ethereum Classic, and has been around for a while. It actually flipped BCH for a minute there, I think. I know it's kind of maybe similar to BCH in terms, I know when Ethereum had something go wrong with their blockchain, and they rolled back the chain to make that outcome not happen. But that's where, like, I think Ethereum Classic said, no, you can't just roll back the chain and just because something you didn't like happened, right? That's you're saying how centralized you are. So we are going to commit to a more decentralized version of Ethereum. So, so I think that could be a good value in the community. I don't follow the community that closely though. Sheeb, I wouldn't touch Sheeb. Just not super interesting for me personally. I just not sure its value proposition. I find Doge more interesting than Sheeb. But again, I don't necessarily know meme culture. Maybe I'm not cultured enough to understand that kind of stuff. But not for me, and seemed like a fun pump thing. I don't know if it sticks or not. We'll have to see. A lot of action in the chat. We got 17 live right now. Same, I'm trying to convert other crypto holders to BCH because of the low supply cap. I'm baffled why morons like to invest in crypto with billions of supply. Yeah, that's a good point. Like you know, like the whole cycle, like I felt like a bunch of like soccer moms were even buying like Sheeb. Like it just became like that thing people, you know, oh, it's like Doge maybe. I don't know. It's like I don't understand it, and I don't want to like talk badly about things I don't understand, but just saying, like, if I don't understand it, I don't invest in it. I understand the value of peer-to-peer cash. I understand what damage the dollar has done. So those things to me are investable and also usable. I use cryptocurrency. The insider's information is out. I've been following SwissBeats every move on social media. He confirmed on his IG live last week he's still in BCH. Oh snap. We got Swizz. Now I want to go live after you. Mark, hop on live, man. I'm going to get back to doing editing, but I got to get through this vacation. I want to get myself refreshed. And I'm feeling good. I'm in a good mental and just feel healthy. You know, I tend to work, you know, a lot of hours. Mark saw what a day in the life of working with me is like. And yeah, we've had a lot of projects going on. Thoughts on Dogecoin Millionaire? Is that like homeless looking guy that made a lot of money on Doge but never took any profits? Yeah, I would don't make any idols, right? Like we're talking about, you know, Roger Ver, Mark Lamb, Dogecoin Millionaire. You know, you don't need idols, but you know, you can listen to how people speak and see if they provide things of value. Obviously, someone like Roger Ver, things interesting to people like me because like he's very well versed in Austrian economics, and that's something that, you know, I've spent years studying as well. So there's definitely like a common, you know, common value there. Sorry, mosquitoes coming out. I won't though. Maybe another day. Yeah, yeah. Definitely hop on live one of these days, man. Dogecoin millionaire is broke. I don't think he's broke. I think he has a lot more like notoriety now, and like he can get like paid gigs and stuff like that. Ryan is nonstop working in a family man. Yeah, you know, if I put in the work while I'm young, I'm 33 now. I'm getting older, so BCH needs to go to 100,000 so I could take a little bit more time off. If you guys don't know who Swizz Beatz is, he's Kanye and Jay-Z's producer. That's huge news. Yeah, that's something that we should probably explore more. Maybe he should get like on the Bitcoin Cash podcast. That'd be really cool. I don't know how you get Swizz's attention to like invite him, but yeah, I definitely think we should get him to speak on a BCH platform or with, you know, I'd love to do like a show with Swizz. Said something here on the channel. Is Robinhood a good place to have my BCH? No. Don't hold your crypto on exchanges. I just lost $30,000 by doing that. So, buy a hardware wallet, a Trezor. I'll make a video on how to put your crypto on there. I know more and more people are doing it. I need to make the time to make a good quality video. Yeah, Mark, you'd be a perfect candidate to do something like that. You could Mark makes such good quality videos in terms of like aesthetics and all that, and certainly content as well. Is Robinhood a good play? It's a stock app that's regulated, so I don't see any risk. There are so many risks. Voyager did not have stocks, but they were publicly traded, and they fell apart. They don't do none of that crypto lending or yield farming. That's fair, but there's no reason to give someone else your keys, right? Like, you know, at least give away your keys if they're going to offer you a little yield, right? But you're saying there's more stability and not. That's a fair point. Yeah, definitely go the hardware wallet route, especially in, you know, low liquid markets where, you know, there's a higher risk. Certainly the Three Arrows Capital has like this contagion, you know, virus, you know, going around just hurting so many crypto businesses. I feel like if I get a hardware wallet, I'll put it in the wrong letter and GG my coins. There's got to be other ways to protect it around that. I'll have to look more into that. But certainly, you know, being able to take sovereign control of your money is the value in crypto, right? So even like a Bitcoin.com wallet, you can hold your BCH in it without anyone else. But yeah, but sure, then you got to put it. You don't want to walk around with that much money on you, right? If you have a lot of crypto, but it's at least a better holding your crypto non-custodial is what makes crypto valuable, or Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash. Like holding it without a counterparty is what makes it great. A large part of it, right? Finite supply, usability, low fee. These are also amazing attributes, but being able to send money from one person to another without a counterparty, just peer-to-peer, that's the invention. That's why everyone here is in this chat, right? That's why, you know, I spend so much time on Bitcoin Cash, is because that is extremely, it's extremely rare. For the first time in human history, I could send money to any of you guys here in a fraction of a second for a fraction of a penny, and nobody could stop it. You know, that's not possible. It's incredible, really, if you think about it. So, yeah, we said that 18 in the chat. Everyone, yeah, it's good to see a good crowd here. Electron wallet, mix and save. Yeah, I had a good chat with Mark, and we're working on. He's really working on it. He asked for my input on it, and I'm going to spend some more time over it this week. But on how to, we use map.bitcoin.com for putting BCH businesses on there. But he's working on a really cool tool and looking for every possible feature to make, using crypto easier and creating more use, essentially. So I won't say too much about that, but Mark has something really cool brewing that he's been working on. But anyways, one of the big parts of the conversation we had was about having more great BCH wallets. Right now, the Bitcoin.com wallet is extremely, useful and great to use, but we need more. You want to, Electron Cash Mobile is challenging, and we need more competition in terms of wallets that are very easy to use on mobile phones. OG says, I sent $1.11 in BCH to Australia instantly from a pic in a video. How cool is that? I must be a nerd. No, man, I mean, when you really think about non-sovereign money that can move from border to border and not have to convert it into a local currency and just having this non-sovereign money is very fascinating. BCH is the only coin to buy. I wouldn't go that far. I love Bitcoin Cash. I own a lot of Bitcoin Cash. But like I said, I buy other cash coins I think are decent. Like to say, don't buy Monero. I don't think there's anyone that would really agree with that, right? Like, why wouldn't you buy Monero, right? If you value peer-to-peer cash, Monero definitely does a very good job in trying to be that with a high value in privacy. Again, I think there's some drawbacks to that, obviously, but certainly that has its value in the world, right? Like, we live in a world where we see, privacy not being respected at all. I would never buy Monero. Tell me why. Why wouldn't you buy Monero? Is it? I think it's a great tool for people that are need. I think Monero has respect from like every crypto community, even like Bitcoin maximalists. Can't hate on Monero. OG was the church. Mike called me up and was excited. OG thought was the church. I had BCH and some Monero. But I mean, just regardless, like crypto's a great space to be, right? But like the last bear market, I only bought 2 coins. I didn't buy Monero last bear market, but over this last bull market, I've really thought more about Monero. But last bear market, I only bought Bitcoin Cash and Ethereum, right? If I just bought Bitcoin Cash, my returns would have been a lot worse. So I definitely think you don't have to buy 20, 30 coins, but I think somewhere from 5 to 10 coins that have good fundamentals and have a good shot is a good strategy. Monero has no adoption. I'm not convinced. Privacy not that important to me, and I don't do suspicious activities. Sure, and neither do I. I'm not doing anything bad, but like I think an ecosystem that protects privacy is important. I think an ecosystem that protects people that are very useful in society, like Julian Assange or Edward Snowden, or even like, let's say, back then Bitcoin was thought to have good privacy, but obviously it didn't. Ross Ulbright, like people that are doing peaceful things that are deemed to be criminals that need privacy, like that's who I buy Monero for. I don't buy Monero for myself. I'm a dad and I go to work and I make money, right? I'm not doing anything highly controversial. I might say a couple bad things about the government on the internet here, right? Maybe maybe that could cause a problem for me in the future, right? But I don't buy Monero for myself per se, but you never know. You could find yourself in a situation where you may need might need that privacy. So I think it's a hedge against bad situations that you don't foresee happening for yourself, right? Like you don't expect to have to use that. Just like it's like you buy a gun because you don't expect to have to use it, right? But what if you really need to? Yes, smart. Monero has no adoption. Monero inflation is reasonable. The church called me. I'm not sure what this church talk is about. The church called me and was extremely happy to see tips go in. I had to explain again. Oh, okay. Okay, so OG and Bitcoin Jason are sending Bitcoin Cash to a church. Is that what it is? I recently bought Bitcoin Cash and BTC and Monero. I'm planning to exchange my BTC the next bull market and exchange it for more BCH and Monero. So, Jose, I think it's Jose. Jose, I think that's again, like if you're a Bitcoin Cash guy, like there's like this angst towards BTC. I think there's 2 things to consider about BTC. I think, yeah, it's more likely to run first. Like after that, the Bitcoin halving, it'll start to gain, slow momentum. It has a large, buy the dip crowd and people that just buy it. And then I think it'll probably outperform most cryptos the first leg up in the bull market and drastically underperform in the second leg. So acquiring BTC now, like logically, if you look back, like that makes some sense, right? So I think that's very sound logic. Again, there are some risks, right? Like if Tether were to fall, like that really helps prop up BTC, but like that's not guaranteed to happen. So I think that's pretty sound logic. Like if the goal is to get more good peer-to-peer cash, I don't like begrudge you for that. And also, again, everyone should listen to Peter Risen's podcast that he did with Peter McCormick years ago. And he says, he brought up a good point for holding BTC. Sounds crazy, right? But he's a chief scientist at Bitcoin Unlimited, so he works on Bitcoin related projects, so Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, I think even Bitcoin SV he was slightly involved with, and he said, I hold more BCH coins than BTC, but I hold a lot of BTC that I've held for many years, because what if BTC actually wakes up and gets their head together, figures out that, like, we're doing something really wrong here, we should do the right thing, right? We should increase our blocks, get rid of replaced by a fee. Like, what if they actually like start doing the right thing? So that his hedge on holding BTC was that they get back to being peer-to-peer cash. We haven't seen it, right? But you have to say on some level that risk may exist. And that probably wouldn't be a bad thing for BCH, because then if they start talking like that, there'd be a lot of infighting to actually make it happen. And you could see this monsoon of people that then run to BCH and be like, wow, these guys are never going to be peer-to-peer cash. Like, they told me Lightning was going to be the answer, right? But it still is trash. And I still have to sign up for an account with Strike, and it never happened, right? I'm trusting Strike, and let's say Strike has an issue where they go bankrupt and they lose people's Bitcoins, like there could be that whole dumpster fire that happens potentially in BTC, and you get this big run out to BCH. Yes, Ryan, I had onboarded a church that does charity work here and overseas. Very cool. It gives easy access to buy weapons privately online. Monero is perfect way for the black market use to buy things you are not supposed to. What is that you gotta hide about your purchase? I think that's awesome that people can buy weapons privately online, right? Like, what if you live somewhere that like it's illegal to own guns and you actually need safety, right? So a Korean, I gotta say, like, I totally couldn't disagree with your logic anymore for not holding Monero. Like, you should hold Monero if you can't access weapons. Like, that's the reason to hold it, right? Like, you should have the right to defend yourself. And if a government is not allowing you to do that, and you have to do it through the black market, good thing you have Monero, And what if you access that gun and then you save your family's life from an attacker because Monero allowed you to buy a gun on the black market? Like, wow, like Monero is saving lives. Korean Boy says, I see Monero as insurance. If government clamps down into crypto, it's so much harder to stop Monero. Absolutely. I have 40 cents in BTC I can't send. That's unfortunate. I want to own some guys, not allowed, some guns probably. Yeah, I think Australia is always, Americans will talk about Australia like, yeah, Australia used to have shootings and they took all the guns. Now everyone doesn't shoot each other. I'm like, it must be utopia, right? Like how good the lockdowns went there. I agree. We can't all be lucky enough to live in the great state of Florida, pal. Academy Sports for the win. How's it going? Summer never ends. Yeah, Florida's pretty cool, man. Like, I think about different places to live, places that optimize freedom. Maybe OG Foundation has more freedom than Florida, but there's, Florida in terms of ranking is doing better than most states, and I'm not sure about countries. We're gonna blame Monero in court. Who are you gonna call? There's no CEO of Monero. But don't get me wrong, like Bitcoin Cash doesn't have same hurdles, right? It has a much better user experience than Monero. It has it has privacy tools built into it, right? You have Cash Fusion, Cash Shuffle, those things. Awesome video and channel, man. Appreciate the insights. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. I'll get back to doing more video editing after my vacation, going to take a little trip next week. Freedom starts in our mind. Absolutely. I heard Fluff Pony was stealing Monero early on. If the protocol isn't transparent, what's the real supply? Yeah, didn't he? Is he in jail, Fluff Pony? I heard he got arrested a while ago, and yeah, and I know it has a mild inflation rate, and people have issue with that. So, my father says great governor. Yeah, people like DeSantis, like I said, as a libertarian anarchist. Like, I like to point out his flaws and not be like overly fanboy about like any politician. But certainly, with the way the pandemic was treated, he was a lot more freedom leaning. You got to give him props for that. He's being extradited to South Africa. Interesting. Yeah, Monero is a project that I think it has. That's pretty cool. Problem with Monero is when they do fork people's wallets. Did not know that, Jason. I did not know that. That is good to know. But again, I'm not like Monero. I don't see like flipping, becoming like the most valuable. It could, I mean, become the most valuable currency, but I think it's unlikely. But I think Monero definitely has an important place in the cryptocurrency world. What other pure peer-to-peer cash cryptos are there besides BCH, XMR, and Digibyte in the cash coins group? I think decentralized is a word used lightly, and not used lightly. But we talked about other cash coins in the beginning. We were talking about Doge is a cash coin, Litecoin is a cash coin. Obviously, you brought up Monero. We've talked about for a little while here. I think moving on there, you have Digibyte's one I got to look a little bit more into. I know it got a lot of love, and actually, out of all the cash coins, I feel like that's the one that YouTubers are like hyping up more. Cash coin. Dash is all the way down there. But again, Hunkdana, won't like my critique of Dash. I don't know how you feel about Dash. Hunkdana being an eCash fan, like the same criticism I give eCash, I give Dash, because I just don't like the idea of a protocol, sending. I won't use the word tax because people don't like that, but sending, diverting resources to the development chain, I think creates, a lot of probably unintended consequences you might not want, right? And empowering people that may not have the best interest, right? Like the biggest problem with government is that one day you won't have angels running government, right? Like, oh yeah, if we vote and we create these laws and give people X amount of powers, as long as they're all angels, like these powers are good, right? Like the Patriot Act. Like if, as long as, we make sure everyone's safe that's on the airplanes and take away certain amounts of your privacy rights, what do you need your privacy for, right? Then, us really smart, good people in government will be good. I think that's a similar issue when you send funds directly from a chain to a central authority, that they may, obviously it's a huge incentive to just like enriching yourself is one issue, right? Without necessarily having to create value. What do you do if Amari doesn't create value, right? You can obviously just leave the chain. You're not coerced to stay in the chain, but like that's just not interesting to me. Ryan, how are you gonna know Monero's supply if you don't know where it's going? What if I own millions of Monero but I died and nobody knew? Yeah, I think there's gonna be a lot of crypto lost to people dying and losing their keys. The keys are, crypto's lost every day. Yeah, those are good criticisms. I'd probably like to make a separate video about the criticisms. Yes, Miles? Come here. I'll come tuck you in. Guys, I gotta hop off here in a couple minutes and put my son to bed. Miles, you wanna say hi to everyone?
Yeah.
Miles, these people wanna know what's your favorite kind of money.
Bitcoin Cash.
That's his favorite money. So, but guys, thank you so much for hanging out. We're almost on here an hour. Enjoyed the chat, and hopefully, as always, you found some value in this. And Miles has got to go to bed, right, Miles?
Yeah.
All right.
We're going on a trip.
We're going on a trip next week. Yeah, we're gonna take a little vacation.
Yeah.
We're gonna go spend some Bitcoin Cash.
No, we're not doing that.
All right, guys. Have a great night. Be safe. Back up your keys. Get your coins off exchanges if you can. Appreciate you guys as always. Family first. Bitcoin Cash family second. You guys, I appreciate y'all, man. Have a great night.